Hi, Blossoms. My name is Heather Shemansky, and I am thrilled and honored to have been selected as the January Consultant of the Month. I am the wife to an amazing husband named John, and we have two daughters, an 8-year-old named Elizabeth and a 5-year-old named Rachel. I'm also a first grade teacher, so between keeping up with our two busy girls and teaching full time, my life can be pretty crazy at times. So, I guess you could say my Usborne journey started in May of 2015 when my cousin invited me to her Usborne Facebook party. I had never attended a Facebook party of any kind, so I wasn't sure quite what to expect, but I went ahead and said yes because I love books. So I attended her party and I remember falling in love with books immediately. My wish list was huge. There was no way I could buy everything on my wish list, so I went ahead and bought a few books and then ended up booking my own party. And that party was in June 2015. Um, I ended up having a pretty good party and earned the hostess special, which happened to be double free books. So I remember having a blast picking out the books I had earned. During that process, I remember the consultant casually mentioning that she thought I'd make a great consultant. And I remember totally blowing her off and not even considering it. And she never really pursued it any further. Looking back, I'm very glad that happened because had I joined then, I would not have ended up becoming a member of the amazing Blossom team. So I feel like things happen for a reason. So, anyway, fast forward to this past April 2016. A friend who I've never actually met in person, she and I both belong to an online Catholic moms group. She invited me to her Usborne Facebook party, and I immediately told her I'd love to attend because I remember loving the book so much. So I attended her party, and again, my wish list continued to grow even more. And I remember Megan, my now sponsor and team leader, doing the normal recruiting post and mentioning that there's no monthly minimums or sales quotas you have to meet. You can strictly join just for the discount. And I remember messaging her, asking her if you really could just join for the discount, and her saying yes, people do it all the time. So I remember mentioning to my husband and us talking about it, and he said, he was fine with that as long as I didn't go crazy with that discount and that I had to budget myself. Little did I know that he actually knew that I would eventually want to sell books, but at the time I had no plans, and he did not share with me that he knew that I'd eventually want to sell them. So I told Megan that I was going to join, but that I was only doing it for the discount. So fast forward a few weeks, my kit came, and I remember opening the box and just being so excited as I pulled each book out. And then starting to think, maybe I should do this for a business. Maybe I should give this business a try. I could do it just for a hobby in the summers, since I'm not in school in the summer, and just have parties then and not do anything with it during the school year. So anyway, I messaged Megan and said, that I had reconsidered and that I at least wanted to give it a try for the summer. So I scheduled my launch party and had that. I ended up getting two bookings from my launch party. One was another friend from that online moms group, and she actually ended up being my first recruit. And then my sister also booked a party. She said she would help me out by having a party. So my sister's party was pretty good in sales. But I got one booking from her party. That booking actually ended up being my cousin, whose party I had attended the year before. Little did I know that my cousin's party would be what got my business going. We had her party at the end of June, and her party, I think, reached 400 in sales, and I got 4 bookings from her party. I was blown away when I got that many bookings. My incentive period ended July 11th, and I remember all 4 of those bookings wanted to get scheduled before my incentive period ended so that they could try for the double free books. So my beginning of my July was pretty crazy as I got all those parties scheduled and held. One of those parties is what I call my epic party because it reached $950, I think, in sales. So I was blown away when the sales reached that high. Um, and that party helped me reach 2,000 in sales for the month of July. Never did I dream that I would ever have a month like that. After all, I just joined this business for the discount. So anyway, that's when my success seemed to end. I started having trouble getting bookings. I only had one party in the month of August, I believe. Although I was okay with that at the time because August is usually pretty crazy with the start of school and getting my classroom ready and everything. So I didn't want a busy August. And so I was like, you know what? I'll take a break for August and get myself going again in September. Well, that was a little bit harder than planned. I had always offered the prize upgrade to my prize winners, and many people usually took me up on it. Well, that wasn't happening anymore. I think I only had 2 parties in September, and they weren't very. One of them I think was okay. One of them was not good at all. And I think I only had 1 or 2 parties in October, and I was starting to feel very depressed because um, I remember at one point I had 0 parties in the future, and I was thinking, how can I continue my business if I have no parties scheduled? So I was ready to throw in the towel, on top of not having trouble getting bookings. We also had the new website, which, as we all know, was very glitchy and causing major problems. So I was getting very frustrated and depressed and was just ready to I was like, it's not worth the work that it's taking for me to get this business to keep going. So um, I then early October, I ended up getting another recruit, Elise. She has been amazing. I've loved helping her get her business started, and she has rocked the business from the start. And honestly, her success and her momentum is what got me going again. I realized that, you know what, I love this business. I love sharing it with others. I just love everything about it, and I don't want to give up. So I decided started to think outside the box. What can I do to get my business going again? So I just started messaging everybody on my Facebook friends list, and just realizing, you know what, I'm going to hear some no's, but I need to hear those no's because in order to get yeses, you have to hear no's. So I ended up messaging one of my friends who I really thought would say yes. She's a homeschooling mom, and I even included that in my message to her, saying that I, thought she could earn some great books for her homeschooling and whatever. So she surprised me and said no, and that it was really hard for me to hear that. But she surprised me by saying um, that the reason she didn't want to host was because she was also a consultant for a different company, and she was afraid that by hosting a party it might interfere with her own business. But she would love to help me find some hostesses. So she asked if it was okay if she messaged some of her friends to see if they would want to host. And I was like, okay, sure. But I'll be honest, I didn't think anything would come with it. Well, she surprised me, and a few days later, she messaged me and said that she had a friend that was interested. Well, that party ended up being what set my business in motion again. Um, I had an amazing sales for that party, and I got a few bookings, and those bookings have led to other bookings, and I now have 6 parties on my calendar for January. Don't have any beyond that, but that's okay because I'll get them. I guess what I've learned from my journey is that I'm going to have ups and downs. Not every month is going to be great. Not every party is going to be great, but that's how direct sales works. If you have a lull, don't let that get you down. Just keep going because this business is too amazing to let one lull um, make you quit. So I guess I just want to thank Lauren for choosing me as the consultant of the month. She is a major inspiration for me. She motivates me all the time. There are so many other blossoms that motivate me as well. So I want to wish everybody good luck in 2017. Thanks. Bye.